All right, reminder we're live, everybody. And I'll call the Main Street Advisory Board to order. Let's jump right into the secretary report. Adrian, are you taking that, or Phil?
I'll let Phil do it.
Phil?
Oh, wait, but I thought you were representing Shelley this morning.
Okay, well, then I will say your minutes are
Not attached.
they're not attached.
But they were, I know,
Yeah,
you could have clicked the link, I'm sorry.
I saw them and I could do a motion to approve.
And so,
Can't
we
vote.
Yeah,
can't
for the
motion.
record, for those listening at home, we don't have a quorum yet, so we can't take action. But the minutes are available somewhere,
Online.
and you can
Online.
review them
Yeah.
online.
And they are in your packet this morning.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right, let's go right to the staff report then.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I am putting together the agenda. I realized I was working on so many other things, and but my brain only could put down annual assessment, so I'd like to enter into the minutes. I've added in your packet an update, adding additional items for staff report. So we received, and of course Sherry spoiled the good news at our training last week. We completed our annual assessment, got it submitted. Everything came back good, except for one comment, which was a little slap on the wrist, that we did not dive down and fill out our work plan the way that we should have. You know, we did our first 2 pages with our goals and objectives and actions, but then as far as, where'd my little symbol go? You know, filling down the completing the form with task and who's responsible and timeline, and so we got a little slap on the wrist for that. But other than that, we were recommended to nationals for accreditation, which is good. But we will for sure, starting today, with our design committee plan workshop, start diving down further into our work plan form, so that we will not be noted or cited on our assessment for this year at the end of the year. We are deep in planning Friday Night Live. We have all bands confirmed except for one date, and that is June 21st. I do have also Johnny B is also looking for some good bands that might be available, and so we hopefully we will get that last slot filled in the near future.
What type of music we have this year? The same as last year?
Same as last. So our band lineup for this year is, we have Coming Up Brass. Let's see something I have my. We have Coming Up Brass for our first Friday Night Live on May 10th. May 24th is Trial by Fire. That's the Journey Tribute Band.
That was successful.
Well attended in the Party in the Park, so we're bringing them back. Friday, June 7th is Gary Lauder and Smoking Hot. That band played for the July 4th event, which had a really big crowd, I understand, and for those competitive people out there. And so we apparently got good feedback from him, and so he will be playing June 7th. We currently do not have a band for Friday, June 21st. We've been soliciting and just haven't found one available. And then for Thursday, for our July 4th this year, we have Java Band, which is the band that played at our Nightmare on Main Street. We got really good feedback from them because they played a good variety of music, and so they are confirmed for July 4th.
Perfect.
Okay.
So 5 concerts?
5 concerts. I have pulled up a previous RFP and started updating that. And as far as a stage, I know there was some feedback in the community and from concerned citizens that maybe we should use local companies for our stage equipment, etc. But an RFP was put out the previous year, and so we'll be putting that RFP out again. Does that need to come for the board for approval?
I wouldn't think so.
No,
I would think
I
the
don't think it
promotions
was.
committee can.
I'll share it with our board chair, and I'll share it with you, Danny, before we send it out, but I've started updating that, and I'd like to get that out soon, and then have a date back, so then we can bring those proposals that come in to the board to look at.
So just as a point of clarification, so the city has to follow state bidding requirements. We have to always go with the lowest responsive bidder. And we can't give preference for local companies or things like that. And since the DBDA is a nonprofit organization, you don't have to follow those rules. Obviously, you have a budget you have to work with, so you should be going with the low bidder unless there's a reason not to.
Right.
So you have a little bit more flexibility than what the city itself does.
That's good clarification.
And so we'll be putting that out. As far as, one other thing I think I failed to put on here.
Sponsorship packets.
I felt like that would be more under the DVDA.
Okay, gotcha.
And so, as far as Main Street, we do our annual assessment, which goes up to the state and to, and that's more of a questionnaire. But as far as having an annual report with some pretty pictures and accomplishments and some data that really tells our story, I'm starting to work on something like that. Hopefully for the next board meeting, I'll have something for us to look at and maybe some quotes to get a few printed. Because I think that would go a long way in telling our story, so that then when we follow up with a sponsorship form or
Here we are.
packet,
Yeah.
I think we'll have a better chance of getting more buy-in or sponsorships if they know that we're doing more than just throwing a party. So,
Yeah.
so we'll continue to work on that. Hopefully the next board meeting I'll have something for us to look at.
Perfect.
Okay?
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yes, as far as the Main Street organization, do you have timelines for things that you need to submit? Like, do you need to submit our work plan to the North Carolina Main Street at some point, or is it just all end of year?
It's end of the year.
Okay.
That's part of the assessment.
So there are no, like,
Deadlines
points?
along the way.
I have no timelines, no, as far as submitting.
Okay. So our only timeline in developing things that we know of as an organization is budget, just because of the way everything's set up, right?
Yeah, and I think internally too, I mean, obviously everyone here's on the exec board, but part of that meeting is gonna be benchmarks as far as, big thing this year's gonna be structure. I want each committee to say, I want X, Y, Z done this year, and then each meeting, we're just gonna say, all right, Angela, you wanted to get this done by this date, how's progress look? What do you need, how can we help you?
Right.
Okay.
Stuff like that, a little more structured.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And that's why it's important for us to fill out
The-
Right.
that work plan.
Then that way we can just look at, literally just bring the work plan up and say, check, 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 and then at the end of the year, Phil can submit it, and we won't get dinged.
Yeah. Okay.
And if there are projects or like the capital items that you want to submit for city funding,
Yep.
then just work through Phil and Shelley. We'll start our budget workshops in earnest in March, but we'll have a pretty good outline before then.
Okay.
This year, I'm sure you've read the paper, the county's doing a revaluation of all the properties within the county, and we anticipate having a pretty good increase in the values of properties in Belmont. So it's up to city council to decide what to do with that increase.
Right.
But we should be in a better shape financially this year than we have been in a long time.
Good. Phil, you got anything else?
I think that's it, Mr. Chair, as far as my staff report, unless there's any further questions. Anything I might have overlooked.
No questions. Thanks, Phil. Committee reports, organization committee, Phil Champion's not here. He's got a meeting this morning, but we've been talking to him offline about what we expect and him getting his committee together. So if anyone has any members that you think would be good for organization committee, get with Phil. But the big thing we're pushing with him is getting all entities involved, banks, retail, merchants, maybe a student from South Point High School, a student from Belmont Abbey, and really just getting the whole community involved in buying one vision. So that's kind of what we're pushing for Phil for first year, so he can set the tone and the foundation for that committee going forward. Design committee, Angela.
Okay, well, we held our monthly meeting January 10th, and today we're going to have our workshop from 10 to 2, and then our next meeting's February 14th, Valentine's Day, at 11:30 in the Centennial Room here. So facade enhancement grants, I think there's nothing to show at the time, but there might be one to share soon.
Actually, multiple. We've had
Oh.
a few requests come in. Of course, I've been working with Wendy Hostetler on her building. Then we have Chad has asked for an application. He wants to redo the front of his building.
Point of clarification, what building is that?
The Johnny B's Pizza and Stream Bean.
For those at home that can't see which direction Phil's pointing.
Shelley and I met with another property owner, and he is interested, but that will be in the next
The
fiscal
next
year.
go-round, right, okay. Well, that's good, excellent.
We haven't approved any of those this year, or haven't had any applications.
No,
this
we
year,
didn't
have
really have, we only had one application, and they didn't really meet the follow-through to meet the requirements for the application, so it was never actually submitted.
Okay.
'Cause it never was able to get past
Who
that.
So we
is
should
that?
still have funding for these potential applicants.
Who's the one that didn't finish the whole process?
Well, that was the situation with the building that Phil is in.
No, it's,
Gotcha.
And they had already started the work. And we were willing to look at, because there had been a change to that, we were willing to look at seeing if that could get overlooked, but then, I think they were just into it and finally just said, you know what, we just want to keep going. So, our community project, still collecting bottle caps, so,
Oh, and I have a bag full in my office. I will bring them
okay,
today.
I'll put those in my car. And then box wraps, still pursuing further information about that and plans for that. Information kiosk, still awaiting vendors to get back with us. And I think you were meeting with someone, we can, talk about that at our workshop. And then green space, with the dog park, again, we're still just waiting for the Parks and Rec master plan to see what they have decided and where they want to.
And when's that finalized?
They had a kickoff meeting last night.
Yeah.
So the goal was to finalize that around July. It's about a 6-month process.
Okay.
But then, so after that process, it will go before the council for approval, or it goes before?
It'll go, so it'll go to the master plan will go to the council for adoption or acceptance. And then presumably there will be capital projects recommended, a dog park perhaps, a recreation center, other things, that will just be, when the council decides it's time to do that, and we can afford to do it, then we'll take those project by project.
Yeah. So, and just to catch you up, we did have one of our members did sort of we assigned them to kind of shadow so that we could keep up with
Okay,
what was
good.
happening.
That's awesome.
And she had reported back at the last meeting, again, I'm not sure what happened just recently, but she had reported back at the meeting prior that the location, they were considering a different location than the one that we had kind of like done our budget around. So I'm sure that once all that gets resolved, it'll have a different nature if it's a different location. But we all kind of, what they were thinking sounded good with us. So History Walk, that is just sort of, I guess, still awaiting for all that to get the things to get worked
Have you
out.
received an email, Adrian, from, because Peyton submitted you as, and your contact information as.
Yeah, I signed that
the-
application.
Right, the application, and then she put me down as kind of a daily contact. And so I've been looking for any type of email correspondence, so, but, and maybe I need to look in spam folder or
In the
anything to
junk
see
folder.
if maybe if it went there.
So there's no way to reach out to them directly to see the progress? It's all just sort of, I mean, I understand.
I
And
will-
looking at the application, it was just like,
Yeah,
okay,
well,
you send it
Peyton-
into the abyss.
Yeah, well, Peyton had an email contact she was going back and forth with, so I will look in her folder to see, she was good at saving everything, and so I'll pick back up. 'Cause it was my understanding that she sent everything, and now I think we were just waiting for them to approve it and then send back to us. And so that's why I've been looking for emails.
Who's approving that, or what?
Also, the
App.
emails are going to, like, their computers.
Yeah, because we put the, what was that, generic City of Belmont email address. So we just need to keep an eye out for.
Make sure it doesn't get, like you
Well,
said,
and
in junk
Peyton-
folder or.
Exactly.
or-
And Peyton had reached out to Sarah and said, be on the lookout, this may come through. If it does, forward it to Phil and you, or so.
Okay,
I just need to circle back.
okay. All righty, and then that's it.
Sounds
That's
good.
it for the design committee.
One highlight I wanted to share was I had some clients up here. We had dinner at Old Stone, and we were all walking back to the parking lot down there, and we all stopped for a second, and they really appreciate the art right there on the fence, and kind of neat to tell all the stories about behind it. So thanks for doing that. Promotions committee, David's on vacation, but once again, Phil and I have met with him several times, talk about strategies, marketing for the whole year. We've got the calendar pretty well set, at least for the first half of the year, and really working on social media strategy, long-term marketing strategy. Anything else you want?
Yeah, he's.
I mean,
I
we've
think
got a
he's-
lot of
yeah,
good ideas.
Yeah, he's going to bring a lot to the table as far as, social, social media.
Advertising, radio.
Marketing plan. So,
So-
pretty excited about that.
Yep. Economic vitality, Mark, I haven't really had a chance to talk to him. I know Phil's talked to him a little bit, but one of the big things I think we want to focus on, like we talked about at our planning meeting, was setting up that economic toolbox of we're going to be out recruiting businesses that come. What are the benefits? What can we do to help out? And that's really what I think I want Mark to focus on this year. So I'll talk to him once he gets back and settled down. So chair report. I don't have much since a bunch of people are here, but the biggest thing, like I said earlier, was basically I'm on is structure. Once we set the vision, once we set the work plan, it's gonna be a lot more structured than it has in the past. As far as here's what we want to get done. Let's check the boxes. If there's something the city needs to help out with, let's ask for it right away. If there's something I need to help out with, let's all work together and be on the same vision, on the same page. So really just want to empower you guys to do what you guys are passionate about. That's what it comes down to. You guys are all volunteers, and whatever you guys enjoy doing, let's support that and make that the best we can. So we'll set up an executive board meeting time too, and I think that might be a better time to kind of finalize the vision and the goals, objectives versus here. So I'll invite you, and then we can get Mark and everyone on the same page if you think that's all right. Or what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking, I thought our goal was to try to
We can get
go through this
Yeah.
morning, especially trying to finalize the strategy, 1 and 2 statement.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because Angela and the design committee are
Oh,
working.
that's right,
They
today.
they have their work plan session from 10 to 2 today, and so
Gotcha.
I think we
Need some-
a little
alright.
more guidance, if we want to then just kind of look at economic development strategy,
Let's do it.
1 and 2, and then maybe we can talk through the design.
Just specifically.
Just, specifically as far as the actions, so that we can move forward with the design committee today.
Gotcha. Let's do it. So everyone's got the sheet.
Yeah, and I would, my goal was to connect to the TV and typing in as we, but it's not, yesterday,
I don't know the flip switches.
yesterday it connected beautifully.
Of course it did.
And I was like, was that way, I was gonna have it all typed in, ready to go, just pull it up, print it for our meeting, design meeting, so, yeah, it's not connecting, so.
We'll trust that you get the notes.
Yeah, any changes, I'll make, after this, I'll run back over to Mike and.
Yeah. All right, so let's read strategy number 1. It's on the front here. Downtown is the hub of a growing collection of independently owned businesses, exemplifying an environment supportive of small business and entrepreneurial development. Any comments on that, Phil or Angela?
So that's a strategy to
Yes.
make downtown a hub, is the strategy, kind of?
Yes.
That's the way it's read, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we have our two strategies, and the first one, downtown is the hub of a growing collection of independently owned businesses to provide an environment supportive of small business and entrepreneurial development.
And based on our workshop, downtown actually refers to our three districts.
All
Yeah.
3 districts.
May put that in parentheses when we say
Well,
downtown.
let me see. In strategy 2, on the back, second, on
Distinct
the back
districts
side, that
connected.
actually talks about distinct, getting down to the distinct districts.
What do you think about just rewording downtown to
To
Main
Belmont.
Street, yeah, or
Or-
Main Street districts? Main Street districts are the hub of growing collection. Yeah, or just Belmont.
I mean, I'm okay with leaving, I was just clarifying the
Just
intention there.
clarifying.
Under the mission, it's the Downtown Belmont Development Association's mission. So is this
Yeah.
is how it's written?
So the Main Street Board's mission is that the DBDA's mission is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
No, okay.
So there's probably some wording stuff to,
And that's basically what was needed to finalize this, was just wordsmith.
yeah. I would, I mean, last time we didn't even have like a mission necessarily for the Downtown Belmont Development Association. That just sort of supported the Main Street mission, right?
Right.
So we can,
Yeah.
as Adrian
Cross
said,
that
just
out.
change that to,
Not just going,
Belmont Main Streets are downtown Belmont's mission.
or the Main Street Advisory Board, right? Because that's who we are representing
Or
with
if
this
it's a mission
document.
statement, you have to say our mission is. You have to
Yeah.
say, just make it straight.
Sure.
yeah, because they know it's ours.
Yeah, so start with, and instead of further enhance, I like to use a different term, like strengthen or something else,
Advance.
advance.
Yeah, I like it.
Something a little bit more
Action.
Mhm.
Yeah. Elevate,
Any other synonyms?
advance.
I like advance because that covers everything. You
Yeah.
know, some things can be elevated, some things can be advanced.
Yeah. I just think we've got to be consistent across all platforms too. Yesterday I was kind of looking online of what's actually on our website, and the purpose of the Main Street program, according to our own website, is create jobs, help grow business, improve citizen satisfaction, and increase tourism. So that's the purpose, is that kind of the mission too? We want to tie those together a little bit, or maybe just update the website with what we decide
I
today?
would say that the website definitely needs to be updated.
All right.
So the definition of advance is to move forward in a purposeful way.
I like that.
I like advance.
So to advance the economic, aesthetic, and cultural environment of historic downtown Belmont. I think that's a good.
Yeah. there's our mission.
Okay, do we need to, you want to back up and look, make sure our economic vision statement?
Yeah,
is,
we can just go top down, it'd be a good idea. Downtown Belmont, situated off I-85 corridor in Gaston County, 15 minutes from the Charlotte International Airport, is weaving a history within 3 districts, the Chronicle Mill, Main Street, and River District. Downtown is the hub of a growing collection of independently owned businesses, exemplifying an environment supportive of small business and entrepreneurial development. These distinct districts, connect by trolley, trail, sidewalks, and city streets, offer a variety of experiences from outdoor recreational opportunities to downtown living, dining, and family-friendly entertainment.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Well, that was, I guess she captured our conversations.
Yeah.
Word for word.
I don't know that we need to talk about being off the I-85 corridor in Gaston County.
Yeah.
I do think it's important to discuss our location relative to the airport, but you could say located 6 miles west of the Charlotte Airport. 6 miles sounds closer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that what we want to lead with, too? That's another question. Does the first sentence want to be downtown Belmont? I mean, is that our number one selling point, or do you want the number one selling point to be the rest of it?
Well, from a standpoint of what makes us different, which was one of her key,
Yeah, her key was,
Okay.
what is your
Yeah.
big economic driver?
Proximity.
yeah.
Proximity.
Yeah. So downtown Belmont, located 6 miles.
From Charlotte Douglas
Or
Airport.
you could start off located 6 miles west of Charlotte Douglas International Airport.
Yep.
Downtown Belmont maintains all the other,
There you go.
or offers the great local living. People can figure out that how you can have this great local stuff and outdoor recreation, but you're also 6
Yeah.
miles from a plane that can take you anywhere. Get the best of both.
And it looks like for the rest of the vision, she just took the strategy 1 and strategy 2.
Right.
Is that what we want to do?
I'm okay with having the economic positioning and vision statement being a little longer and kind of making our strategies a little more
Specific.
Yeah.
So, are you fine with the strategies as are, or are you saying they need to be even more specific?
I think the actions need to be more
Because
specific.
that's what I was, my
Yeah.
follow-up was, I would think that, not that they need to be so broad that people don't know what our focus or our target is, but in
Okay.
our actions, they should be very,
Specific.
very specific.
Okay.
So I guess, do we agree on strategy 1 and strategy 2? Because that's really the rest of the vision statement is strategy 1 and strategy 2. So strategy 1, downtown is the hub of a growing collection of independently owned businesses, exemplifying an environment supportive of small business and entrepreneurial development. Do we like that?
I don't know that it's necessarily a strategy, it's
That's-
more of a statement.
Yeah.
It's identifying something.
I mean, our strategy can be to, like you said, further advance or enhance or,
I think strategies like recruit almost to do that, which is kind of listed as the goal, fill and retain.
yeah, because retain is also
Jamie,
a
should be
big
able to
part of
connect
it.
to it now.
I think strategy 1, further, like you said, further advance the collection of independently owned businesses, exemplifying environment.
Yes, and if your mission is to advance the economic, aesthetic, and cultural environment of downtown, this strategy would be advancing that economic part of it.
Right. So cross out downtown is the hub of growing collection of
You can-
Advance.
You can say advance the hub of independently
Yeah, there
owned
you go.
businesses exemplary in our downtown districts.
I like that. Then the goal, strategy one is fill and retain commercial space with new or expanded locally owned retail, office, and restaurants within the 3 districts.
Yeah.
I like that. Objectives, add more business diversity to downtown by X% over the next 18 months. I think we need to define what X% is, but once we do that, I think,
So a goal and an objective. So the objective is specifically for diversity, but the goal also has to retain commercial space.
Okay, I'm sorry, where did y'all, I have it, the strategy, I'm trying to log in so I can pull this up on the screen.
so the strategy one is advance the hub of growing, we've reworded that, but advance the growing collection of independently, so forth.
And then the end add in our downtown districts.
Yeah, that objective almost sounds like a second goal, which is fine.
If we're filling and retaining, then our objective should be to maintain a certain level of occupancy
Yeah.
downtown.
Yeah. And she's
To
adding.
reach or maintain.
She's adding diversity, because I think we talked about diversity as being important.
But
that could be another, could that be a,
that could be
an
an
action.
economic vitality
Yeah.
action.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that our objective would be to have, I mean, well, obviously, we want 100% occupancy on our
Yeah.
downtown storefronts. Now, you want them to be,
Well, but then we also gotta think about our other districts too.
right, well,
So that-
the
are you-
larger
you-
downtown.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, it's-
so do we, I guess to determine that, we just need to we can't really put that into place, right? Because that would be a vote, as far as what that figure is, or no?
Well, I think your board
The
needs to vote
occupancy?
on this.
Yeah, overall.
Overall, yeah.
So in order to determine what our percentage is, like what do we know, what is
Do
our
you know
percentage
roughly
of
what
occupancy
our
is?
percentage is right now?
It's hard to really say. If we're,
I think that's another thing economic vitality can do. Part of the action would be to get
Identify.
an inventory,
yeah, and we-
inventory of all
we've
businesses and
discussed that.
buildings and the downtown
Well-
districts.
I mean, 100% sounds great, but that means.
It's not.
That's not realistic.
We have
No.
to, we need
And I
to
want
meet
to aim
it.
high, I don't want to say we want 80% occupancy, because that's a B, a low B. So do we want not, is the goal to maintain at least 90% occupancy? And I don't know, but I don't know what that compared, if we're at 93% now.
Yeah, you kind of want to
Yeah,
know where
that's-
we are now before we can
84%.
identify what.
and we want something that we can root it in, identify some tasks, and so that's really achievable to try to,
It'd be great for the board to go out and have sort of a waiting list of
Yeah,
people who want to rent space downtown. That would be the goal,
right.
so that when one business goes, another one just slides right in there.
Backspills.
And in some way, I'd like to make sure, and that would be a good thing to talk about at every meeting, which is what businesses, because you guys are usually aware of what businesses are about to sell, change hands, close, open, whatever, and that kind of keeps us thinking ahead.
Why don't we ask our downtown director
Yeah.
to come up
You've
with
been
what
tasked.
is a reasonable percentage that we should be aiming for? And it could be based on, what the state says is a general level of success for
Yeah.
downtown. Which are always gonna have some.
Yeah,
Well,
and I think
that's-
we could define how we want to, do we want it to be buildings or do we want it to be square footage? I mean, take like, for example, say Mug Shot's one of our businesses, is that still a building? Well, that's pretty much a closet. Do we want to define that the same weight as, say, Exodus Church Leaf? Like, that's kind of square footage, right? You kind of have to weight the little bit.
Yeah, and if you I'm sort of looking at it as storefronts, but then you
Yeah.
have second stories.
Right.
That a lot of them, well, they're more being occupied than we've had.
Yeah.
But we still have a lot of second stories that are just storage.
And I think we're also focusing on and we did talk about diversity and growing the diversity, and I think that is probably a more achievable objective as far as trying to add diversity to,
I think that should be there.
yeah.
Diversity
Yeah.
should be there, because what happens to downtowns is you end up with,
Same thing.
things that aren't as practical to citizens, and we want to have this be a place
Well,
people actually walk to.
And for me, as far as downtown diversity, it would be more retail, instead of just office or restaurant. It would be, a diverse type of.
Where all kinds of people will want to come.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so the goal we're good with. Objective, it means it's gonna be maintain whatever. Phil's gonna do a little homework, but the objective is gonna be maintain that rate.
Now, the way it's worded is, we're looking at measuring business diversity. But I think our discussion is more of
Right.
occupancy of space. And then we can have sort of,
I think, like you said earlier, the diversity can go almost to the economic vitality column. I mean,
right,
our goal as a board should be occupancy,
Occupancy.
but specifically economic vitality needs to be focused on making sure that occupancy that is filled is diverse.
With diverse, exactly, yeah.
And maybe with a caveat as far as, we know we have in the future new construction coming out of the pipe, so that's going to increase.
Yeah,
the
you'll have
number
that.
of Immediate,
Yeah, we can continue to, I mean, like you said, when we come to our meetings, what's open, what square footage is gonna be there, what new construction's done, then we can adjust the objective and goals as we go.
sounds good.
So, yeah, I think what you're saying, though, is that we need to, when we word this, make sure that our objective factors in,
Yeah.
that at the end of the year, we don't get dinged because a building just
Yeah.
opened up
And
with
then we have
10,000
six.
square feet.
We'll just put based on 2019 census done on January 15th.
But I think that's the one caveat that we should account for.
Yeah, in how we stated, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's also a goal.
Yeah. So specifically, so we've got the strategy strategy one's good, goals good, objectives good. So we want to talk specifically design then. How's design going to fit into strategy one?
How does design help independent small businesses and entrepreneurial development?
Just by enhancing the physical environment of downtown to make it a place people want to open up a business. And
Okay.
it could be, the public art, the kiosk,
Yeah, the kiosk would definitely fit there.
the
Yeah, so
parking
if
signage.
Yeah, if we're going to hand a pamphlet to someone, say, hey, we want you to move your business to Belmont, what's that going to be?
Yeah,
It's going to be, our downtown looks great. We got public art, we got X number of people walking around. I mean, we got a
you're
kiosk.
setting the table. Angela.
Right. You're the
I like
gatekeeper.
that.
That's a good.
I like that.
The gatekeeper.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, we have kiosks, so when people that don't first be here will know exactly all the businesses that are offered, and yours will be on that list.
Yeah.
I mean, what other downtown can offer that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Good deal.
So has anything changed since I was trying to, we're under the actions, right, continue with progress?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can finesse this one, because I don't know that, it looks like tying the districts together is really more of a part of
That's part two.
strategy too.
I think
But,
your actions are good.
yeah,
Yeah, and because that could also be with, banners, with,
oh, right, it's wayfinding,
wayfinding.
Yeah.
And so I think
The boxes.
that there are some achievable tasks, because I know we had talked about that as far as, is that really?
Okey-dokey.
And so I think it almost puts the stuff in, you have in parentheses under action, included public art. Well, is there a specific piece of public art we want to get done this year or by December 31st? Or whatever you guys decide at your work plan meeting today. It might not be this year, but what steps need to happen to where we can meet that goal, right? So if you want to do a, I don't know, $5,000 public art piece, that's going to take a lot of time. Well, let's put some benchmarks in there. Well, we want to talk to this person by this date. We want to have city council to approve the space where it's going to go by this date. I think those would be the actions. Kiosk, same thing. You know, we're waiting on certain people to get back to us. Well, what dates do we want to get everything completed by?
I'm supposed to answer that?
Statement.
Is that a statement?
Statement. Silence in the room. So there's one action, so you're going to put action 2 over to strategy 2? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, if it's okay, once we go through this work, once we have our strategies, goals, and objectives, I think that going through our workshop,
We'll give you the
I can
actions.
get back to you with this,
I like that.
like really
Specifics.
more specific,
Yeah.
because my
Oh,
team
yeah.
has so many ideas, I don't want to,
Yeah, that's
I don't
good.
want to tie them
wanna
down
box
to
them
any.
in to
Yeah,
try to-
That's
exactly.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll have some deeper conversation around these.
And this
Yeah.
helps so much to focus
Yeah.
this
So
conversation.
we've got strategy 1 done, and
Yeah.
then with your workshop, you'll be able to.
Yeah, and
get these
I can
tasks.
just email that to you so
Yeah.
you have it
We
ready
can
for
fill
the
it in.
next
Yeah.
meeting, yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
well, I can fill it in, and then we'll,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good, because you can tell your committee, this is the strategy that we're working with.
Yeah.
What does what we're doing fit into the strategy? That way
Exactly.
you're not all over the place.
Exactly.
We're getting somewhere. Strategy 2, distinct districts connected by trolley, trail, sidewalks, and city streets offer a variety of experiences from outdoor recreational opportunities to downtown living, dining, and family-friendly entertainment. I think similar to the first one, it's not much of a strategy, it's
Yeah.
more of a statement. I think the strategy would be to incorporate the trolley, trail, and sidewalks and city streets, so it's ease of access to all those.
So incorporate the distinct districts.
Right. And should the strategy be what we currently have versus what, I mean, the trolley is a goal. Should that be in the, more than anything else? I mean, what are your thoughts?
well, I'm stuck on incorporate versus connect.
Oh, connect's a much better one.
Connect's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
because connect is there, but yeah, we're trying to connect them instead of,
I think you just, yeah, put connect the distinct districts by trolley, trail, sidewalks, and city streets, which offer a variety of experiences from,
I like that.
so connect distinct districts by trolley, trail, sidewalk, and city streets, which offer a variety of experiences from outdoor recreational opportunities to downtown living, dining, and family-friendly entertainment. The goal to have 3 physically connected districts connecting people to a variety of opportunities.
I like that goal.
Yeah, but you've got the word connected twice,
Yeah, that's
or connect.
connected,
Right.
connecting.
Yeah. So we need to change one of those words.
three physically.
I think you can take the
Unified,
first one out, to have 3 physically,
connected districts, unifying people, or.
There you
no,
go.
Unified, physically unified districts, no. Unified and distinct are different, are at odds.
Well, if we're trying to connect the districts, then I think we need to have the connected districts.
So you've got 3 distinct districts. they all have different personalities and
Right.
different sort of missions as to what they're supposed to be. But we want to have them physically connected so that you can go back and forth. You know you're in a different space, but it's seamless to get there.
Yes. Yeah, because we,
What, you can just say, instead of connected, say offering people a variety of opportunities instead of connecting. I mean,
are you back up in the strategy?
Oh,
under
yeah.
goal, to have
To have
3
three-
physically connected districts offering people, or offering to people a variety, offering a variety of opportunities
Yeah.
to people.
Change connecting to offering, or offer.
Offering, do we want to say
Offering
people or
people.
citizens?
Offering to
Public.
public, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
public.
We
Offering,
want visitors to come and spend money and then
Yeah.
leave.
Increase tourism, Phil.
so offering a
Yes.
variety of opportunities to people, or to the public.
We're providing people with a variety of opportunities.
To connect.
Recreation.
To connect.
Airport.
Got all that, Phil?
Jamie will fix
I
it.
heard a lot. To have 3 physically connected districts offering a variety of opportunities for the public.
I like that.
What kind of opportunities for what? Is it
Leisure.
recreation? Is it leisure?
Well, we.
Fun and leisure.
Yeah, we
Well, is
talked
that-
about experiences of
Shopping? Yeah,
outdoor
let's tie it back to your mission.
outdoor
Yeah.
recreations, opportunity, outdoor recreation, downtown living, dining, and family-friendly entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Opportunities for recreation, living, dining, and entertainment.
Yeah.
And you tied it back to your position, vision.
So offering a variety of recreational, cultural, I was wanting to add cultural up in there, but
Thank you.
we got past that.
Okay.
So is that we want to add in
Yeah.
here, a variety of
That's in the mission too, cultural
Yeah.
environment.
recreational,
Recreational,
cultural, and what? What's back up in recreational, cultural?
well, it's downtown living, dining, and family-friendly entertainment.
And
You want to say family-friendly environment, which kind of includes living, dining.
Yeah.
okay, so
Variety of recreational, cultural, and economic opportunities. Or, because we don't talk about shopping.
Yeah, it seems like to just throw in dining as the only thing there seems
Yeah.
too specific.
Yeah. Recreational, well, you could just say recreational and cultural opportunities. Because for some people,
eating,
window shopping
dining,
is
that is
recreation
rec-
or-
and it is
or-
cultural too, as far as the, well, as
Yeah.
far as the dining.
Going back to that, I think part of the strategy needs to say shopping.
And leisure, recreational, cultural, and leisurely opportunities.
Yeah,
Um,
'Cause I mean,
recreational, cultural opportunities.
just keep it to the recreational, cultural.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think part of the strategy, we need to add in shopping. Recreational opportunities to downtown living, dining, shopping, and family-friendly
Yeah, I agree.
entertainment.
Okay, wait, so I'll put the strategy.
Yeah, after dining,
Keep up, Phil, come on.
dining,
We're jumping back and
comma,
forth.
yeah,
Y'all too fast for me.
shopping. There you go.
Too many.
Shopping. There we go. Perfect.
so what is that?
Put your comma in there.
It's added shopping.
To living, dining, shopping, and family-friendly entertainment, so we don't have cultural anymore?
Well, cultural
We
is
do
part of the
under
goal.
Oh, okay.
So let's reread these
Phil,
real
in your
quick.
strategy, put in your Oxford comma after shopping, please. So I don't have to come up out my chair.
After,
Shopping.
Shopping.
oh, you're one of those.
Yeah. Because shopping is different from family-friendly entertainment.
Give me the Oxford blues.
All right, an objective to increase business development, growing the tax base by X% within the next 24 months.
I don't know that that objective has anything to do
And
with
yeah.
the goal or the strategy.
Yeah. I think we're starting over on that one.
Yeah, that's a different,
What about some type of tourism based as far as,
I think, just to be real simple with it, your strategy and your goals are talking about connectivity, physical connectivity, so your objective should be to, create crosswalks over
Yeah.
Park Street. How do we know
Yeah,
what-
the
what
objective would
we
be create safe,
create these safe connections.
safe connections between the districts.
Yeah.
They go, crosswalks, signage.
what is that gonna, is those very specific tasks to accomplish?
I think that, the objective would be to create,
To create those safe connections.
safe connections among the districts, and then part of the economic and all that other stuff could be
So it has to be measurable. So to create,
Safe pedestrian connections between each district.
And we're also wanting to create things in those districts, right? Because right now, I'm thinking the River District, if there's nothing really going on there, we want to create opportunities.
I think that's strategy
to
one.
attract people. Oh, that's right. Is that, get back up into-
This is just talking about connectivity.
Yeah.
So your objective should be to create those, so you've got
Yeah.
connectivity between the historic Main Street and the Chronicle, and then between the Chronicle and the River District.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think the overall strategy is essentially to create the districts and make them
Unique.
walkable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, is
Right.
make sure that each of these districts get their own personality.
Right.
Can be identified more by the public, and the public sees them as one thing, that they can go from place to place.
So right now there's a bike path between downtown and Chronicle, it's Chronicle Mill. It goes up to the stoplight and it stops right now, right?
No, it's on the other side.
Is it?
But there's nothing at the intersection of
Right.
Park Street to tell you that. Just a-
Yeah. The bike path signage can be huge. There's nothing right now on that whole Chronicle.
Yeah, and it can be as simple as just a little sign on Catawba Street that says Commonwealth River Park, 5-minute bike ride this way.
Yeah.
So we have 3 districts. Can we, the objective needs to be, I think, to the point of this work plan, it has to be quantified, yeah, exactly, in some way. And that's where I think the hard part is how to quantify doing this. I mean, can we say to increase awareness and safety by 3 active measures in each district, or, can you say it, can you quantify it in some way so that it leaves you open to be able to make it a sign, or make it a sidewalk, or make it,
I like that.
whatever different way. Make the objective a bit more general, but quantify it in numbers of things we do. Is that fair? So.
Yeah. Complete 5 specific projects, and that could be the Park Road crossing, it could be signage, it could be repainting, maybe we paint the bike lane a different color, I don't know. It could be all kinds of things.
Or like
Because part of it too is awareness.
Yeah.
Because we already have banners up, and we call them different districts, but the citizens as a whole don't.
Right.
And a lot of the new people here wouldn't even, our visitors in particular, wouldn't even know to go to East Belmont or the River District, so, or the people that I'm sure go to the Antique Mall may never make it here.
Yeah, if you're coming in
From the
from Catawba and
yeah.
if that's your destination, you may not even know to come.
They go, oh, this is Belmont.
Yeah.
So.
That could be an opportunity for public art too, like if you drove from Park Road into the River District, if there's some sort of I'm thinking crazy, but like there's a guy in a canoe right there, like some sort of structure that says, all right, River District. And then you went the other way, you've got, I don't know.
Yeah. And I think those kind of things would be a way to
The
both
actions,
keep
yeah.
to both enforce that they're distinctly different districts, but also to, like you said, sort of help give the visual
Identify,
cues.
And I
That'll
think,
be part of my presentation today to the design committee.
Okay. All right. Totally your
but maybe that's something, the kiosk could also, make sure
Oh,
the
yeah.
kiosk contain the business inventory for all 3 districts, and you have, one here, but also you have one in the
Yeah.
River District, maybe in that lawn there by the sidewalk at the Catawba River Antique Mall.
Yeah.
And that's a good opportunity for people to sort of figure out, I'm here.
Yeah.
But look,
and
there's
go
more over here.
elsewhere.
Well, and that was
Maybe
part
that
of.
kiosk looks different because it's more of a river-themed kiosk
Yeah.
than what we have down here.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got this as part of your strategies and goals, which gives you support for asking for funding from the city.
Yeah. So back to the objective.
Thank you for keeping us on task.
And I think to make them more, maybe we also throw in identify.
Yeah, create safe
Because-
connections.
Because if we talk about the kiosk, and if we identify the locations and start getting the designs for those, but yet they're not implemented, but at least we've identified, and that's something that we've achieved.
Yeah, making it
So,
doable.
because we also have to identify,
Yeah, because some of these goals will be, like, public art doesn't happen quickly either, so some of it will be,
There you go. Identify and create safe connections between the districts, distinct districts.
distinct.
So
Do
get
we
my
want to take
glasses,
off?
get my glasses checked.
distinct? Or are we also talking about create safe connections and opportunities between, or no? I'm just trying to think of,
what about identify, let's see, safe connections and encourage, because some of it, like the projects that you could do, like art walks or different kind of things that are more in the entertainment, would really be for encouraging people to,
And-
encouraging awareness.
right, and that's, yeah.
I think those kind of things that we could do would support this by just
yeah.
forcing people to kind of like take the walk and go, hey, this isn't that far.
Exactly.
I think the opportunities are endless. You could, obviously you could do concerts over in the River District, you could do art walks, you could do all kinds of stuff, but
So your objective could be, to identify and create safe connections between the distinct districts and to encourage.
Public awareness.
Yeah, and people visiting, how you word it,
Yeah.
but sort of a 2-part objective there.
yeah.
You got to create
Public
the safe
participation.
connection, and then to encourage people to go back and forth.
Yeah.
We'll let Mendoza figure out the best way to
Encourage
word that.
public use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Encourage public activity,
Sure.
use, activity.
Use of the connections.
Yeah.
You give them a reason to go on the other side of the crosswalk.
Yep.
Exactly.
So we're going to remember this.
I know this is a little bit tedious, but this is the kind of stuff that we needed to do.
We want to do and or also encourage, or just keep it, did you want your and?
I think it's fine without and.
Well, then you just got a phrase.
Yeah.
You can't start a sentence with and.
How about with your Oxford
Phil.
comma?
Well, that wouldn't be an Oxford comma, it would just be you're connecting two
Maybe it'll be,
clauses.
I'll come up with another word for it then.
Yeah, you can just say district and encourage.
There you go. Very good. I like it.
So how is that measurable?
Well, you've either created the connections or you haven't.
So.
So we identify where the connections need to be.
Okay.
And
So we
Catawba
don't.
Street is what really connects all of them. So sort of the intersection of Glenway and Catawba is sort of the connection between Main Street District and Chronicle District. And it's a tiny intersection, so it's easy and safe. We don't really have nice crosswalks, so that's a good opportunity for something there. And then, of course, the big one, Catawba and Park Street.
But yeah, like, I know that Sherry was trying to throw in percentages and numbers, and encouraging that, but is that where you're going with
That
your
was what I
comment?
was thinking she was going with, but you know what, you're right. If we're happy with saying, if we've identified something, if we created something, and if we've encouraged something, then we've done it.
Yeah.
And it's up to us just however many
Who
more
does
of
the-
those we want to do.
Who does like those walkability scores? Like when you go on a real estate thing and there's the walkability score, who does that? That'd be a way to measure it. I mean,
Yeah.
once we
Yeah.
identified it, we fix the crosswalks. Now, if you're sitting on whatever building, what's your new walkability score? I don't know how you.
Yeah, that'd be a good measure. Increase the walk score by
Yeah.
10% or
Yeah.
20%.
Is that done by the state?
I don't know.
Um,
But like,
Yeah, we
No,
should
I
look
think
at
that's
it.
it's done by companies.
yeah, something we can look into.
And
Though.
they have an algorithm and it measures like retail opportunities and shops and parks and stuff within it.
Traffic and
Yeah, traffic within a distance, sidewalks within a distance of your location.
All right. Is there anything else we need to talk about on this bill?
Well, let's look at the action.
Oh,
Well, this,
like
It
that's
kind of changes, right?
the action for the design is going to change because the summer of 2019 is not a realistic action. But creating visual cues for the districts, like you were talking about,
Oh, yeah.
and like you're going to present to us, our work plan. That certainly is a good action to have there.
Yep. I like the signs with the 5-minute walk to this, to the park or to the
Yeah.
district, or it's huge.
So wayfinding, sort of continuing the wayfinding.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay, we'll tidy this up a little bit and then we'll dive deeper today with our design.
Yeah. And then I think
committee.
we'd use the design committee almost as an example for Phil and David, who will have to do theirs too. Say, hey, here's the strategies and here's a good way to interpret it, and here's what design's doing. Take a similar path.
Yeah. Yeah, what promotional activities do we need to
Yeah.
tie back to our mission,
Yeah.
position?
Yeah.
All right.
So you've got your concerts that reflect your cultural environment, so that's good. So that ties in, but then you also need stuff for your economic, like your art halls.
Well, and the history walk that we had done here, the whole goal ultimately was to kind of expand it. So if we expand it to East Belmont, or River District.
Oh, you still do the Chronicle.
Well, no,
Yeah.
we've already got Chronicle
Oh, you got the
Mill on
Chronicle.
it, so we would just.
Oh,
wanna-
hey, that's a connectivity there, so.
Yeah, so we would just want to expand it out to the other
Yeah, absolutely.
business district, and that would be another activity that would encourage connections and participations, because it's a walk, right? So,
Good.
All right, so Phil, you're gonna wordsmith this some more, or finalize it?
Yeah, we'll wordsmith it some more this morning to get ready for the design committee, and then we'll update it, and then I'll send it down.
Perfect. Is there any other business or new business?
I just want to make, I got an email from Terry Cox, who is the director of TechWorks, yesterday.
Good.
And she's invited us, or invited me, and I've invited Phil and Shelley to do a final walkthrough of the TechWorks space later this month. So they're finalizing the construction, and they're, hopefully they'll get all their equipment and furniture in February, and be open in March, hopefully.
oh,
So that's going to be a big catalyst for some development and job creation.
That's
in the-
awesome.
Specifically in the Chronicle District, which is, it's going to be really nice.
Yeah.
Any other business? Going once, going twice? All right, let's adjourn the Main Street Advisory Board meeting.
Give me 1 second to switch it.
So, Mr. Chairman, I guess procedurally, since we couldn't vote on any of this, you would just bring this revised goals and objectives back to the board next
time.
month?
Yep.
And Phil, once you edit it, just send it out to the board and let them,
Yeah, we'll
Review
say, be ready to vote on this next meeting.
it's too late for changes.
Yep,
We've already made it.
it's finalized. We waiting for Jamie to do something, or are we good to go?
She was,
She's ending the taping of the Main Street meeting
Oh.
and starting the taping of the DVD.
Man. That's gonna be good listening there.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a longer pause, the computer was shut off. I don't know when, but, so we're just gonna wait for it to turn back on.
so was it not recording the
It
pre?
was recording, I mean, like 10 minutes ago, I had my volume, it was still pulling up the recording. But let's get your accounts off.
How critical was it that we had to have this recorded? 'Cause I think this one's gonna be pretty quick.
It would be nice to have it, but the Main Street Board is the more important one to me
Okay.
for recording. That's the city-appointed city board. The DVDA is the nonprofit supplementing the.
We'll give her a couple minutes, but no, I think we're just talking, get the
Yeah, I
taxes
think this
done,
will be
yeah.
quick. Yeah, I did, well, you'll see I did
Yeah.
add a few more talking points for staff report, but they'll be very quick.
Look at you with your amendments. Would you like to add Appendix 1 to the minutes, sir?
Yes, please, Mr. Chair.
So moved.
We talked about,
The recording's on for the next meeting, and it's saved.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good.
All right, let's call the DBDA meeting to order, and we'll go right into the secretary's report. Shelley's not here.
The minutes are available for you at your table. We do not have a quorum for this meeting, so we can't approve them, but they're there for your consideration. Reading pleasure.
Thank you. We'll go right into the staff report. Bill.
all right, I added a couple of things to the report. Last meeting, we were talking about the DBDA taxes, and so I have a quick update, or just a quick recap. Fiscal year 15-16 taxes were filed by the fiscal year. 16 taxes were completed by Rod Smallwood by the calendar year. I spoke with my predecessor. She was under the impression that he electronically filed them. They were not electronically filed, so she assumed that they were filed. And then, so 17, he completed them. They were signed and they were mailed in with the government closed down. Who knows when they will actually be. And so I met with Rod again this week. And so I went ahead and I completed everything for calendar year 18 taxes. Gave those to Rod this week, actually yesterday, so that at least those are done. So when the government reopens, he is going to communicate to see if it's okay for us to just continue calendar year versus fiscal year, because that depends on how the organization was established. So he's going to look into that for us and let us know. And then we will figure out then what we need to do about our 16 taxes, because the way that the fiscal year 15, 16, and then 17 will have a 6-month gap that's unaccounted for. June 30th of 16 through December 31st of 16. And so we'll figure that out, how best to handle that. And so Rod, so that was our conversation that I had with Rod yesterday. And then if we can just continue annually, that's what I would like. If the board's okay with that, I think it's easier. Just at the end of the calendar year, when we'll balance the checkbook, get everything over to Rod like I just did. So,
Yeah, it's a good idea.
okay. We have sponsorship form updated for concert series. This was, and so I still need to finalize the last band, last look over this, but we need to, and so I was just bringing this before the board if they're okay with moving forward again. This previous matter we did, seeking sponsorships for the concerts. Of course, I would like to start moving in a direction where we're actually asking for, kind of annual program sponsorship instead of, specific concert. But in the interest of time, we went ahead and updated this so we can start soliciting sponsorships instead of waiting.
I like that, it's good.
Yep.
So,
We'll note that as you're going by, I know you said you haven't proved this yet, but I think it's coming up Brass is the band with an R.
Bass. Going
Bass.
fishing.
right, yes.
This is connecting us to the River District.
So, yes, thank you for that. But if, as you look over this, if you see any
Nice
catches,
back condition.
please let me know. And then once we get it finalized, we'll start talking about, Shelley and I have already started creating a list of companies that we want to, that the organization committee
Target.
can target. And so if you, and I can also share that list with you. So,
Are you anticipating asking the city of Belmont for a sponsorship or support?
we have someone in mind that we want to go after for that headline sponsor. So I think at some point,
Title or headline?
title. I think at some point I may be coming back, depending on how things go. It may not be for a title sponsorship, but it might be more of a program sponsorship, not just the concerts, but Christmas Village, the whole package. I would put together a package sponsorship list.
Okay.
Is there any guidance on that front?
I just need to know because it'll all be done this fiscal year. So we'll need to know soon.
How soon?
Last year, what did the city do
We
last year?
provided 15,000.
Okay.
Because that was basically a startup to get this organization back to, I guess, running and managing the concert
Yeah, it was
series.
to provide some startup cash. Make
But
deposits
they
on
needed to
bands
pay
and things.
pay
Yeah.
bands and
Yeah.
Yeah. they actually, you know, when you sign the contracts, you gotta pay the deposits and lock them in, so. But as I understand, I guess we're ahead of where we were last year.
Yes.
If I saw Mark's not here, but with the budget was what, or the final was what, 20,000 or something?
Well, and that's actually, yeah, we can get in,
Okay.
I can cover that.
Still you, let's get the sponsorship
So,
form.
Sponsorship form, and actually I started talking about annual report in the first, and so, I've been searching annual reports, and I found one that I really like by, Marietta, Georgia, and so I've been using theirs as a guide, and so hopefully I'll have something to show. Danny and I have had conversations about, other ways to generate, revenue for the organization, to actually implement some things. We've talked about other types of memberships. I know that when it was the Merchants Association, they had an annual membership dues of $125, I believe. And so at this point, from what I can, I gather, businesses really did not support this organization. We had, I know, a couple of them did actually provide, some sponsorships for one of the concerts or some other things. But as far as, a majority buy-in, I have not seen that. And so I'd like to develop, as I've been researching other programs who have a business membership, and so I'd like to work on creating a membership packet for our business, and businesses kind of outline what that is as far as social media exposure, ads in magazines. I've been meeting with some different magazines to try to see what ad placements would be, and trying to put together that package to see, but I think it is vital for our businesses to buy into this organization. But they're going to, we need to tell our story and let them know what they're getting out of it, so.
I think the big takeaway too from the planning meeting was those cluster events. So say that we want to do a restaurant week this year, well, it'd be nice to have all their buy-in, and then we just kind of sit back and promote it. And
Right.
that's where that type of stuff would go towards.
Exactly. And,
If I could just make a comment on that. So our Main Street program is not a membership-based program. It's a city program that encompasses the whole of downtown, so you don't have to buy into it. It's not like the Merchants Association was, or the Chamber of Commerce is, or something like that. So I would say instead of framing it as a membership package or dues, it would be more like a Friends of the DBDA. And so you may, for a certain amount, that you get extra exposure and whatever.
Okay.
And it would just be, obviously, you need to show the value that the DBDA provides to the businesses.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
they can help keep the momentum going by being a friend of it, and something like that. But I just wouldn't use it for
Okay.
membership.
Gotcha. Thanks for that feedback. And we also talked about, like the GoFundMe, account to do something, whether it be public art or concert or whatever, to try to get more community support and buy-in. So, any questions?
All right, treasurer's report.
So, account is fully balanced, and so we do not have any outstanding deposits. We have a couple of outstanding checks. These were last checks towards Christmas Village, and so our current balance is $20,141. But then I do have still the little note as far as uncollected sponsorships, and I have made some progress there, and mainly going back and forth with McLean. They thought they had paid us, and they didn't, and they presented a check, and I was like, no, that check. So I was pulling up old emails trying to show that check was from the Friday Night Live sponsorship where there was some issues, and so hopefully I will have made a lot of progress this next month in trying to bring this money in. So then our after bringing this money in, that would be more of a $28,000 kind of year end for the DBDA.
And, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's, no.
I have a question. When it comes to things like and this goes back to the Main Street facade enhancement grants, does that money come from what we have with this total that we're looking at here, or is there a separate?
No, so the city money that goes into the Main Street program, the facade grants are earmarked out of that.
They are earmarked, so that is something that's protected for whatever is coming down. Okay.
The city provides, I think it's $23,000 in this year's budget for Main Street activities.
Okay.
And then anything above and beyond that, the DBDA can supplement that through its. So that 23,000, that is facade enhancements, wayfinding, and promotional stuff, things that y'all decide we need to spend the money on.
Gotcha.
And so that did not include the 15,000 for the concert series.
For the
That
concert
was separate.
series. Right.
So this funding would be for the concerts and anything else that the Main Street Board and the BDA want to do above and beyond the 23,000.
Okay, thanks for that. Still trying to get
Yeah.
that straight.
It's confusing, it is.
So total investment from the city last year would have been 38,000.
Yes.
Well, plus salary and
Phil's
benefits.
outrageous
so-
salary and benefits.
He's so worth
Yes. And then Jamie's time and Shelley's time.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I would say, because that.
You included all that in your Main Street
In the
statistics, right?
in the annual assessment, which I should send that to you, on my bad. So that shows the complete city.
Breakdown.
As far as salary benefits and the operational money, and then also the money, the revenue that was generated by the DBDA to show. So overall, program budget was right at 200,000.
That included some capital investment, plus like the parking lot leases and things like that.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I will email that to you.
Thank you, Bill. Angela, you got anything to report?
I do not.
The only thing I'd really say about the DBDA is we're really going to stick to budgets and focus on line items and checking off and make sure everything's square. And hopefully, I mean, obviously, the goal of this would be not to have city money, right? That 15,000 that last year, I mean, the goal would be self-funding, so we're going to do what we can do to get there. Last year, correct me if I'm wrong, we had $30,000 in sponsorships. I think we could probably blow that out of the water this year, so that's kind of my goal and expectation, so. Any other new or old business? Nope. I'll adjourn the DBDA meeting then, until next time.
All right. It's right at 1 hour, good job.
Thanks for showing up, guys.
Half the battle, right?
It is. And now my boss is at my work and I get my yearly review while he's in town.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Can't wait.